Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. My name is Diane Mohammed.
I am Rebel.
I am Samir.
And my name is Simon.
Welcome to 4GetAboutIt TV. We are having a really great day. It's hot as hell. I'm going to be your main host for today. I am a journalist here at Regent Park Focus, or Focus Media Arts. As are all of us. Rebel is our director for today. He's kind of just here because, I mean,
Why not?
why not? Why not?
Exactly.
On some interesting filmmaking. You've never seen a talk show with the director on screen before. Samir is here. Samir
I
Abdallah.
will be co-hosting, so
He
hey
will be
guys.
co-hosting. Yes. And then we have another third co-host, Saima Islam.
That is me.
How are you?
I'm good.
So what you guys? How's your week?
It's been pretty good. I went to a wedding after
Mhm.
2 years, so that was very fun.
You know, we're really lucky because we're journalists, so we have to be unbiased and we have to talk about things that matter to our community. But today we're teenagers. Today we get to kind of just hang out, talk about pop culture garbage because that's the most fun thing to talk about, really. And on that note, I want to ask you guys if you know what's happening with the baby situation. The baby situation.
So that's a little bit of a sticky situation.
It's a bit
You
sticky
see,
one
for the
still.
people who don't know, the baby went to Rolling Loud and said some really controversial stuff about homophobia, and so
And
Simon-
also like HIV/AIDS.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was performing a concert, and I think it was like right before or after his concert. I'm not sure, but he said a bunch of stuff, a bunch of like homophobic things on stage.
Right.
And obviously, fans were upset, and he gave an apology that wasn't.
adequate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Not genuine, I would say.
Right. Well, here's the thing: is that the thing with the baby is that the gist of what he was saying is, if you're not sucking in the parking lot, put your lighters up. If you're not, what was it? If you don't have HIV or whatever, put your lighters up. Essentially, being very exclusionary towards people in the LGBT community because it's America in the 80s, and you know HIV was catastrophic and was largely ignored by the American Medical Association and the doctors and their garbage healthcare system that you have to pay for. But the thing with what the baby was saying was that was like 1980s Republican rhetoric. Like no one even says that in general anymore. And the baby came out and said that,
Yeah.
and then doubled down a few times. And then he didn't only actually apologize until he started getting dropped by like sponsors and like other festivals and stuff,
Like-
which is crazy.
Big media artists, like singers.
Oh yeah.
What was her name?
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa, like even canceled him too. So just that big cancel culture, all of that, like it can ruin someone's career. So you gotta watch what you say, especially if you're an artist.
Yeah, Dua Lipa is an artist that collaborated with DaBaby on a song, and people were coming after her as well because he obviously was on the song,
Right.
and they were like, you have to take him off, and they were trying to like cancel her for his actions as well. So that just like feeds into the whole cancel culture thing.
Mhm.
Like, it can really ruin someone's career.
What do you guys think of cancel culture?
Jesus. I mean, what do you think, Simon?
I think you can't really control like what someone does. Like I think a lot of people were trying to convince other people not to like listen to him anymore and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, you have to be able to separate the art from the artist. I think. So yeah.
Well, here's I don't necessarily agree because I think sometimes like I can only listen to Bop so many times before I don't care anymore, right? I feel like if you're someone like separating the art from the artist is definitely possible, but the art has to be of a certain quality. I think DaBaby overestimated who he is. Where and like the thing with DaBaby is that he'll get removed and they'll bring Roddy Ricch instead of him for
Yeah.
everything, and no one's gonna notice.
Yeah,
Nobody's
I
gonna
agree
care.
with that.
And I think one big thing I've heard, a big counter argument I've heard is that, oh, people allow gang rap, but as soon as he says something about the LGBT, then there's something wrong. But I don't think that applies here because the gang rap is hard. We enjoy listening to that music, but the LGBT plus community has openly said that they don't feel comfortable with that type of rhetoric. So that's why you don't say it.
Yeah.
We don't say it because, like, if people from the hood decided they don't want to listen to this gang rap garbage anymore, then it's different. But like that is hard. I bump that every single day. Regent, we needed 6'7". Why do you keep on reaching?
And I think it matters like if you let yourself get canceled. That's a big part. Like people like David Dobrik, he allowed himself to get canceled for like filming what happened with his friends. And so if you don't allow yourself to get canceled, then you can't really get canceled, because getting canceled is like more like a Twitter thing. People can hate on you, say stop posting, etc. But you don't have to stop posting, and like you're still gonna get the same amount of support. If that makes sense. Like not the same amount of support, but you're still gonna get support.
Until you get to this situation, and then it's like you're getting dropped by your sponsors, and like the label isn't happy with you, and Elton John is out here saying that he denounces what you're saying. Like that's Elton John is not some random kid on Twitter. That's a very different. This is a different level of thing, and I think ultimately it really comes down to just watching what you say. Because like the baby could have just said, "Put your hands up if you're having a good time."
Yeah.
He like went just not did that. Could have just not, and it would have made everything so much easier for him. To be honest, I already wasn't really rocking with the baby.
Who was though?
Yeah, I wasn't really like he had 2 good songs.
Yeah.
Everything else was the same.
2 good verses.
I Need Some Shit was a bop in it. And then that's about it. But then, okay, well that makes me curious. And what's your guys' opinion on Tory Lanez with the whole cancel culture thing? Because I have my opinion. Samir knows my opinion.
What is your opinion?
My opinion, it's here's the thing, right? As much as I do believe that gender is a social construct, that it should have no bearing on anything you do, I also look at other men who physically harm women. It's like, oh, you're a loser. Like just as a level of internalized heteronormativity that I just haven't really shaken yet. It's like, oh, you're a guy who hits a girl, you're an idiot, you're a loser, you're a child, you don't know what you're doing. And I think with the baby shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. Sorry, Tory Lanez, not the baby. With Tory Lanez shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot, it's like, yo, what is wrong with you? You're at the Kardashians' crib.
Do you really think it happened though?
Why would it happen?
It's allegedly.
Yes.
There was an alleged bullet in her foot?
No, like she could have just showed another picture.
Of a shot foot?
Well, he's not in jail, so it's allegedly.
Yeah, because the trial hasn't happened. He got bailed out the night of.
I know, the trial's in process. That's what I'm trying to say. It's innocent till proven guilty.
True, but also I think we've had so many situations where we don't believe victims, and it's just unnecessary. Like,
so
she had both in her through her foot, bro.
I know, but like,
and Tori had the
there's no video. It's just pictures. Could have been another person's foot. You get what I'm trying to say?
I do.
It's
you're not buying me, but I see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying too. Like, it's the two things between believing the victim and
if he
like,
here's the thing. If he did, yeah. Here's the thing. If he did that, that's some real corny-ish. But also, like the way he's been moving afterwards, he's not like he's going screw you for turning on me instead of I didn't do it.
I know we see it as a gender thing too, but she's really like 6 foot something. Like
she's like 5'8".
No, she's like 6 foot, and she has like
much taller.
50 pounds over him, and he's like 5'2".
Well, listen, domestic violence is bad regardless.
Yeah.
I'm not saying domestic violence is like if he felt threatened, okay, fine.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, the internet tried to cancel him after, and I don't think it worked.
I can't really bump his music either.
Why not?
Anymore. I don't really bump his music anymore.
Well, because of what happened, or because
pretty much. It's just like, oh, this guy. Yeah.
I think he's kind of dodged it. Like, it was a thing in 2020, and then like people just forgot about it.
In Toronto, people definitely forgot about it.
Yeah,
but
I think worldwide. He's booming now.
I mean, maybe not like he wasn't. Like when Talk to Me dropped, he was everywhere. Right?
I want to talk about David Dobrik's situation. What do you guys
I don't
think
have
about
a
that?
clue who David Dobrik is.
I don't even know what fully happened, to be honest.
Tell us.
So basically, his friends like go to like parties, and what David Dobrik does is like he films everything, and so basically he was filming his friends at a party, and there were some underage girls that went, and like his friends hooked up with them, and all he did was he filmed it and he posted it, and so afterwards the girls were like, oh, like could you delete it? And he deleted it, but like it was basically too late because it was millions of views.
Yeah.
And so like they were like, okay, he sexually assaulted me, but like David like cut off everyone from like
That friend group.
That friend group, but like he still got canceled because he like filmed it and he posted it.
Yeah.
So, the internet was kind of mad at that. He lost like all his sponsors, so he had to like stop posting for like a year. But like, he still made a comeback. Like, I think it's a matter of if you allow yourself to get canceled, because you
But
can't.
also like letting yourself be held accountable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think he did that.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people said his apology was bad, but like, how do you really give a good apology? Like,
There's definitely ways you can give a good apology.
I don't think so. Because
Not cry in the middle of it. Not do
you,
the
you,
YouTuber.
think, you think you shouldn't cry during an apology?
Most definitely.
I-
If you're crying during your apology, you're not really sorry for my feelings. You're just sorry you got caught.
Oh, true.
I think
yeah.
apology is genuine, and like if you're crying, it shows real emotion because you're really like,
Use your words. You don't need to cry to me. You're not a baby. Talk to me.
I don't know, maybe like it affected you too. Like, I know it's not a thing like, oh, don't make it all about yourself,
Yeah.
but how do you really apologize properly?
Understand that how do you apologize properly is a good question. It's a big one. I think you need to try to understand where that person came from. You need to understand that you hurt that person's feelings, and that's the most important thing. And you have to make that as clear as day, as possible. You have to make it clear that the issue isn't that you have created a separation between you and that person. The issue isn't that you're lonely because they won't talk to you. The issue is that you did something wrong and you hurt that person. That's the biggest thing. You don't have to cry because that's just at that point it's just too much. Also, if you're on YouTube, don't like do the thing that all YouTubers do, or like put up a messy bun, or wear an oversized sweater, sit in the corner of your bed, like those ones.
Yeah.
Eating ice cream, yeah, like that's the big YouTuber apology thing, and it's always the same. But
I feel bad because it's like, I was gonna say, but once you get canceled, it's like you get canceled hard. Like people get like depressed and they lose everything. Usually, that's what happens. Do you guys know what happened to CNMA?
Who?
CNMA.
Yes, I do. She's a TikToker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
CNMA, like basically another sexual assault thing, and she fully like dodged the whole thing. And like she put her apology video, and the apology video was very bad. Her first like words were like, "I unequivocally deny that I sexually assaulted him," when there's a video out.
Right.
So
I shouldn't laugh, but
I know, like, so like it was like her friends with benefits or whatever, but he got sexually assaulted. He didn't say anything, and then because like he was like affected from it. His friends spoke out, but he didn't say anything, and he got posted. So they tried to cancel her, but all her like, I don't want to say girl comments, they were like, "We believe you, Sienna," and yeah.
that's crazy. I mean, I think it should also be said, don't out people's anything to do with their sexuality or if they've been sexually assaulted. It's not your story to tell. Don't post that if they're not comfortable with anyone knowing it. That's just nobody's place. Just putting that out there. But I mean, here's the thing, right? I think a lot of the time it turns into, oh my God, this person is getting canceled for sexually assaulting someone, instead of, oh my God, this person sexually assaulted a person.
Yeah.
Like, we're too fixated on the cancel part, where it's like, bro, this person did a deplorable thing. Deplorable is a good word. Deplorable is a good word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Once you're famous, you really get put on the spotlight.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's hard. Like, everything you do, all your actions, you get canceled very easily.
Yeah, that's so true. I like anything you say, any post that you like.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Any post
if any of us were like under the spotlight, we'd get canceled within a day.
Oh, for sure.
Like I think a lot of people who like analyze celebrities' lives and stuff, like they just look for something.
Yeah.
And that's a huge thing about cancel culture. Like a lot of little things also
It's so easy to
get
offend
blown
someone.
out of proportion.
I don't always entirely buy that though, because I feel like a lot of the time there are people who like you know how mad I would be if my favorite director or like my favorite whatever turned out to be a racist. Like I would be cheesed regardless, and I would no longer watch it. Like if they're like, oh, I hate all Muslim towel heads. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like I would take that really hard, you know.
Yeah.
So I can't necessarily say that people kind of look for shit, but there are definitely people who look for old
Well, there's
things.
definitely people who do.
But also like I like rewatching old content. Like there are a lot of like YouTubers and stuff who I like. I'll just go back and I'll just watch old stuff they made. And I feel like that there's an amount of people who just go through old tweets to see funny stuff
Yeah.
and come across that. I love Meg Thee Stallion as my favorite old tweets. She's just like, damn, Phineas and Ferb music is great. Just in like 2014 for no reason. She's amazing. We're gonna move on to our next segment. It's actually sort of something similar to a Diane gets the opportunity to talk for 2 minutes, because I remember at the beginning of this job, I said, oh, I have an idea, we can do these sort of political activism education videos. And then my boss is like, you're a journalist, not a political commentator. You have to get someone else to say it. And then he kind of threw me a bone. So, the Toronto City government needs to step up its game when it comes to its housing crisis. Over the last few years, many homeless and unhoused people have been sleeping in tents and setting up large encampments in public spaces, like Alexander Park, Trinity Bellwoods, Lampard Stadium, Moss Park, Island Gardens, and so many more. Earlier in the year, the city issued multiple eviction notices to people saying that they are trespassing. And a few weeks ago, the city acted on their eviction notices and sent in large numbers of police officers to evict the people staying at the encampment, forcefully if necessary. Protesters showed up, and eventually there was a bit of a standoff. The police decided later that the forcefully if necessary part had become necessary. The protesters were maced, hit with batons, choked, and even arrested. It's a disgusting use of authority. The city's refusal to acknowledge that is horrible. The city's claiming to provide options for the people being evicted, offering space in shelters, which sounds great until you remember that a lot of unhoused people have said that they don't feel safe in the shelters. The city's also been offering rapid housing. The fact is, that's not long-term systemic change. It's a band-aid on a gunshot. Despite all of this, Toronto Mayor John Tory has stood by his actions, calling it a compassionate but firm approach, and even going as far as his claim that protesters have been obstructing and harassing city staff. Not my words, his. The city's been claiming that the parks need to be open for everybody, but apparently everyone doesn't include unhoused people. A big talking point coming out of these is that of housing is a human right. In the interviews and conversations I've had, the term hardworking people comes up a lot. Even though a lot of homeless people do have full-time jobs and still can afford housing, but that's not really the point. The two terms contradict each other. It becomes an issue of labor. As Canadians, are our human rights only given to us so long as we're hardworking? Where's the value in human life? Or are we only judged based on what we provide? It's a fundamental question that I believe shapes our culture's core identity. Do we believe that someone deserves a place to stay just by being a person, or is the preservation of wealth inequality under a capitalist rule the most important thing? If housing really is a human right, in the same vein as education, shouldn't it be provided in a way catered to that person? Not places that feel unsafe, not a shot at a place to stay, but an opportunity to have a home and build a life. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you never miss out on any of our content. If you'd also like more, you can find us on our other social media platforms. And if you want even more, you can look at our website.